Alright, so welcome everybody to Seize the Mountain, which usually goes by the name of Seize the Hump. This is the second game of a 7-game show match in between Infinite Legends, Capoch+Project Belgium, and BacT. On the right side, left side is going to be the team for the People's Champions. It is Fire, Miguel, and DauT playing. DauT and Fire actually flipped colors compared to the previous game, but what remains unchanged is that we're gonna have Hans for Miguel in the pocket in green, Incas for DauT in blue, and we're gonna have Mayans for Fire in teal. So basically, the way I see it is that we're gonna have two standard civs that are very strong in general, Huns and Mayans, and you're gonna have a massive civilization that's probably going to try to delay, try to be disruptive in the middle. Now, honestly, the middle is big enough to see very, very little initial engagements, I would say. So in 1v1 Seize the Hump, oftentimes the hill in the middle is much smaller, and that basically means that you can try towering and denying wood from the opponent. Here, this is a less likely possibility, because there is quite a lot of resources in the middle, so I would be massively surprised if DauT would be able to do much with towers. But Incas, in general, is a reasonable flank civilization with archers, so they're totally fine as an archer civ. Capoch for Red Britons, we're gonna have BacT as Purple Mayans as well, and Slavs for Project Belgium in yellow. So previous game, Project Belgium was flank cut pretty much destroyed by Fire, so now it seems like we're going to move Capoch into a flank position, and Project Belgium is going to play pocket in this one. On this map, the starting resources are pretty standard, so you get one primary gold, a secondary gold. The primary gold is a little bit smaller, and you don't get a secondary gold. The stones are also a little bit less than normal, so it's 4 plus 3 tiles instead of 5 plus 4. And you also start with little wood, so you will want to expand towards the middle at some point. In fact, BacT is going to start off by going to the middle immediately. With this one, rest of the players not doing that. We're going to have Capoch and Project Belgium chopping wood back at home, and same thing applies for every player in our cold color team. So everybody is just big chilling. I'm somewhat surprised we're not seeing Japanese flanks here, because Japanese cheaper lumber camps, potentially men-at-arms, could be something worth considering here, as we have scouting coming in the middle. So right side is going to be Mayans versus Mayans, but when it comes down to this map, it's going to be about controlling the middle. So I actually like the Britons, Slavs, Mayans setup a little bit better over here. Because the Britons, especially in late Imperial, their traps will be better. Their longer range archers can be microed very well in these narrow choke points. So I feel like Britons on this map is actually a pretty decent selection. Incas are fine, but I would actually put Britons ahead of them in quality. Now, when it comes to hunt, you may notice that there is no pushable deer at the starting positions of the players. So the deer is up on this hill. Theoretically, it's pushable, but it's rather far away. But on the other hand, you are gonna have 5 deer to work with, so this may even be worth milling if you are willing to take the risk of getting some of your villagers in danger to a potential drush. So I would think that since the players are far away enough, one could completely justify fast castles for the Mayan players, maybe even fast castle straight plumed archers. That may be a little bit greedy, but it could be something that is reasonable. The pockets will have to go scouts, because it is going to be their responsibility to protect the flanks from scouts that are trying to hit them. The map here is so open that scouts will definitely try getting some villager picks on the flanks, so the other pocket is going to have to make sure that he is good enough defending against that. And we have a villager pick over here by DauT, punishing Capoch over here. Capoch was trying to wall, but that villager had no loom, and I feel like DauT or Capoch may have reacted too late to that, because this is not a huge distance. I don't think that an eagle can get... An eagle here has 4 attack, and that villager has 25 HP, so you need 7 hits to kill a villager. And I don't think that an eagle can get 7 hits in a distance like this, which means that villager was already weakened by a boar, or Capoch didn't react in time. I think this villager may have already been weakened by a boar, and this is one of the reasons why I don't send out weak villagers to wall. But that definitely was a mistake from Capoch, because for a distance like this, to a single eagle, he shouldn't be losing a villager, even if it's being blocked. That being said, Miguel is going to go forward barracks. The reason why he's dropping the barracks over here is because he wants to make spearmen to defend his lumberjacks over here. And DauT, it looks like we are going to see an Inca will rush here. But will rush what? They are scouting the woodlands of their opponents. And they won't be able to deny all wood, so I guess it's going to come down to being just disruptive, simply. It looks like they will triple a villager over here. And they may get that villager pick. Beautifully done by the cold color team over here. Another villager is lost. DauT, 2 villagers killed already. Project Belgium is down by 1, and Capoch is down by 1 as well. So at this point, we're gonna have barracks from 2 flanks. And what is Project Belgium up to? Project Belgium already has a barracks back at home, and now he's gonna get a forward stable. But here it comes. We are going to have a villager rush coming in here from DauT, and he's gonna drop a tower. Honestly, if this tower goes up, you could even justify just using the villagers to take down that stable, and that could be huge. If you can kill that stable if you're DauT and villagers kill buildings pretty fast, that would be enormous. That being said, we already have scouts coming in here for Miguel, no spearmen just yet, and we will have archers for BacT. And why do I have a feeling that, okay, fire is not fast castling either, so everybody is staying in feudal. I would have thought that it is a decent idea for DauT's team to like have DauT being disruptive in the middle, supported by Miguel, and he's just gonna voll this in, which is an even faster way of dealing with this one, but you just have to make sure that it is actually volled in. Would be lovely to see a spearman coming from Miguel. He's got a barracks up close. A spearman here would help immensely at just being able to, you know, scare away these scouts. And look at that. Project Belgium is counter-volling this one. What he's doing is making a house here, which prevents DauT from making walls here. And that basically leaves the option open to keep adding scouts. And now there is enough scouts for Project Belgium to defend this one for the time being. As I said, it would have been lovely for Miguel to send in a spearman there to help out. Second tower is coming at a nice spot over here that is supposed to be able to deny at least portions of Project Belgium's wood and portions of Capoch's wood, as we do have a pause over here, apparently. Let's see what else we are looking at. We're looking at archers and spears coming in here from BacT. We're looking at double ranges from fire. And for now, DauT is pretty much fine. DauT has +1 defense on those villagers, but no attack upgrades. And as things stand, Miguel's team is actually behind by a villager, which is a little bit surprising, but we do have wheelbarrow for DauT. So DauT went for fast wheelbarrow for the villager movement speed, which is, I think, a lovely decision to make here. Project Belgium is missing double bit-axe. He's the only player that is missing that upgrade, but he's gonna have to grab that soon. Looking at his resources, Project Belgium is very low on food. Interesting. Why? Like, Bagum is floating 400 wood right now. But he has 4 on food. All 4 of those are on berries, which is not even enough to make a TC work, let alone a TC and a stable. So I'm not sure why he's not dropping farms. It might be just, you know, lack of APM and he was focusing on microing the middle. But the thing is that these villagers should already be farmers. He doesn't have horse collar, which is a negative, but you just can't survive with 4 villagers on food. Whereas if you look at Miguel, Miguel's got 14. This is going to translate into better scout numbers or a much, much better castle age. And that's huge. Like, being able to be up to castle age faster than the other pocket here could be enormous, because this map is so aggressive that the initial knights can do so much damage to your opponent. So it looks like they have some TeamSpeak issues, so that's why they're paused. So they'll have to switch to Discord or something like that. So that's how things stand right now. It's not looking great for Project Belgium. He really needs to start adding farms here. Like, mass add farms. Even without horse collar. In fact, in this case, he doesn't have horse collar, he doesn't have double bit-axe. He should prioritize horse collar with the food that he has and start dropping farms. Because you need that. Like, either start dropping farms without horse color and just hope that you can make up for that later on, or get horse color right now, delay double bit axe, and then start making farms with these villagers like ASAP. Otherwise, you're just gonna get outboomed pretty hard into Castle Age. Remember, the previous game it was the same thing. Miguel beat the opponent's pocket in terms of reaching both Castle Age and Imperial Age, and it really showed. As it looks like they're still paused. They unpaused for like 2 seconds and then paused once again. So apparently they still have some issues with the sound. Anyways, as I said, this tower could be very, very good for DauT. What basically DauT needs to accomplish here is just make sure that he's making 2 players defend. So he's pretty much occupying 2 players with himself. And that allows, let's say, Fire to just slowly build up his archer numbers. Now, the thing is that BacT is untouched, so Fire versus BacT could be a completely separate engagement on the right side. There's already a second range on the way, though, for Fire. But for BacT, he's adding Spearman. One thing I would love to see from either side is adding some Eagles as well to this. So that, especially if it turns into a 1v1 fight on the right side between the 2 Mayan flanks, you could justify getting some Eagles in. They are restoring? Okay. So it looks like they will restore the game for whatever reason. Let's go back to the lobby. Don't worry, guys. They will just save and restore. Not sure what happened. But DauT was lagging like hell. Oh, man. That's where things start to begin. Like, we had the other show match where they had to go back to the previous game version because it was so bad. Let's hope that it is gonna be fixed with a restore, because that's one of the biggest problems playing team games right now. Anyways, I didn't add the score here, but I'm just gonna do that. We do have a little intermission over here. Within this game, they will have to do a restore. But yeah, let's hope that the restore actually fixes that and we'll be able to keep spectating. So we're just waiting for DauT to join back in, and then we will have the game up and we shall continue. So it's all 7 games being played, $50 for every win, added to the brace prize money of $50 per team. So right now, Miguel's team already has $100 in their pocket, only 50 for Project Belgium's team. But there is still a long way to go with this show match. So yeah, I guess DauT is also restarting his game in this one, just to make sure that, you know, he's avoiding lags. I'm really hoping the hotfix will soon come out, though. All the bugs and whatnot, because it would be pretty sad if we had to live with these bugs for more than 2 weeks. Like, spectating is very unstable. Hopefully, there is going to be a patch before Hidden Cup. I certainly hope that there is going to be one. Okay, so with that being said, we got DauT in the lobby as well. So in a matter of seconds, we should be able to continue, and we should hope that the technical difficulties will no longer exist. Okay, everybody's ready, so fingers crossed that everything goes well and we will be able to keep going with this show match. Seize the mountain, let's go. And we may need to disconnect from the game and connect to the game. And back we are. Okay, I got scared for a moment. Don't worry, the first couple of seconds is a little bit laggy. That's just a Capture Age legacy thing. Well, not really legacy, but it's just a Capture Age thing. Should be fixed in a couple of seconds. So, Miguel is bringing up the scouts here. Project Belgium also having his scouts moving out now, and it looks like, as we have the villagers being harassed, we have some defensive archers from fire over here, and BacT also has some spearmen here, so it's basically 2v2 in the middle. And for now, it looks like Miguel is going to be able to hold. Other side, what do we have? The tower is up for DauT. We have a counter tower from Capoch. Another tower comes in. DauT is going to be able to jump inside, and he is going to be able to pick off some villagers from... some archers from Capoch. It's still a little bit laggy. Let's hope that this isn't going to be consistent. This Capture Age being laggy a little bit. Let's see if he can do anything with that. Give me a moment. Okay, now it's much better. So, it should be fine for now. Alright, so... with that, we will have... Okay, let's try to regroup after this slow pause, because I also lost track of what was happening. So, the towers from DauT should be able to keep Capoch away from wood. Capoch does have fletching on his tower. There is fletching as well for DauT. But one thing that we were talking about is that Project Belgium needs to add farms. He did that. He obviously did that. Now he's up to 18 farmers, 19 for Miguel. But Miguel's already grabbing bloodlines. For his scouts, there is no bloodlines for Project Belgium. In fact, 0 upgrades for Project Belgium. He's gonna get 2 archer picks for free over here. Or he's just gonna ignore them, which is quite unfortunate for him overall. We'll pick off that straggler archer, and it looks like BacT is gonna move in with huge forces against Fire, who is pretty much alone over here. Where's Fire's archers at? I don't see Fire's archers. He's got 13 archers somewhere on the field. He's gonna be forced to make a defensive tower for the time being, and he should be fine, but I have no idea where his archers actually are. Some of them are over here, some of them are over here. I don't like that they are so scattered across the map. Anyways, as I said, Capoch is struggling to get wood, and the same thing applies to Project Belgium. DauT is being extremely disruptive over here, and that's gonna have its impact on the eco of Capoch and Project Belgium. Villagers will try to leave here. That's a lot of scouts from Miguel. Miguel's got no upgrades on the blacksmith for the scouts, but he's got bloodlines, which may be enough to edge this one out. There's quite a lot of spearmen on the field, but I think this is actually enough for Miguel. This is supposed to be enough, especially with now Fire coming into support, and this could be a huge one, because losing a couple of scouts and trading them off to archers, I think, is something that is completely viable over here, especially considering that BacT was going up to Castle Age. BacT is gonna reach Castle Age with 6 archers only. Now, there is a drawback of investing that much into the scouts, and that is that Project Belgium eventually is going to beat you to Castle Age, and as I said, the pocket being faster to Castle Age could actually be a huge factor. We have a random villager here from DauT that's being picked off by archers. I like this counterattack. These two archers could be so annoying. Over here, one scout should be able to deal with them though. Counterattack from Capoch as well with the archers. And as I said, Miguel is still very far away from going up to Castle Age. He's going all in feudal with all those scouts. The question is, are we gonna have an engagement where he can actually use those scouts? There may be, because Project Belgium is losing quite a lot of villagers over here, and those scouts could very well break in here and just camp beneath the tower. So the full feudal play here could potentially be justified, I would think. Getting through these walls are actually a little bit hard, although there is definitely a hole here. So you could just run in here and pick those villagers off. Archers will fall back. Project Belgium is up to Castle Age with its 34 villagers. Miguel, not super far away himself. He's got 23 on food, not a lot on gold, so he's just starting to add villagers to gold here, which shows that he was preparing for an extended feudal age over here, whereas Project Belgium went for a greedier approach. Initially, it seems like he was punished for it to a certain extent, as we do have crossbows coming in here from BacT+, and that could be devastating. Castle Age is almost in for fire, so he should be able to defend, but Capoch is also getting his archers upgrade to crossbows soon as he's going up to Castle Age. And the first few knights are just so important. Now, that being said, this is actually pretty annoying for Project Belgium over there. Because, see, one of the knights actually gets trapped here. He has to break out, but it's not easy. It's like, Project Belgium, this adds some extra micro to what he needs to do. Just needs to garrison, like when he's making the knights, he needs to just get them inside the stable and then get them out on the other side. Now he breaks out and he even saves that knight, which is pretty nice, but one of the knights went down to very low HP because of that. Anyways, huge counterattack coming in here. And this could be a disaster. There is no player in Castle Age for Fire's team. There's no one. Which means that these crossbows will smash everything that they find. Fire is going to be absolutely massacred here. Archers from Capoch, soon to be crossbows. And now Castle Age is in for Fire, but his army is 28 archers. He's gonna have to come back home. And in the meanwhile, they're getting pushed pretty hard over here. And we didn't actually talk about the fact that we will have knights coming in here from Project Belgium pretty soon, plus the crossbows from the Britain player will also have their effect. I like that Capoch is retreating until he can get his Castle Age upgrades in. This army is gonna go down. That's not even a matter of question, as Fire is going for ballistics. So he's going for the 1 TC play. His eco is pretty bad overall. Whereas for BacT+, he is playing with 3 TCs immediately, getting 4 ballistics as well. Now, the thing is that DauT is tower rushing him pretty hard over here, and this is something that BacT is gonna have to deal with, and we have some eagles from DauT as well. Eagle scouts shouldn't really be able to do much against the crossbows though, so unless these are eagle warriors, which will be the case soon, it's not gonna work well for DauT. Nice find from Capoch over there. That's 4 villagers for free before Fire is able to react, and Capoch could also take this hill and fire down hills over here in a pretty nice engagement. Another batch of crossbows counterattacking. Knights from Project Belgium hitting DauT's eco here, and even though DauT is taking some villagers over here with the Eagle Warriors probably, I feel like they're just suffering from way too much counterattacks. Look at that, it's already 20 villagers lead for Capoch's team, and DauT is trying to get a second DC up, but they're slowly losing control over the middle. And despite the fact that these are pretty annoying towers over here from DauT, I don't think they are actually killing their opponents, whereas DauT is definitely getting killed over here. Now we have some knights from Miguel. Miguel's got +1/+2, and we got only +1 defense for Project Belgium, so his knights aren't that super amazing. And it looks like these archers could also get intercepted. Capoch will need to fight this one, needs to keep backing off because crossbows are coming in to support. Not sure if Capoch is going to do that, but this is a good engagement for Miguel's team. And just use the extra range of the Britain crossbows. That's the name of the game over here. Try to save as many as you can. Villager count, 30 villagers lead right now for Capoch's team. And in terms of military, it is relatively even for the time being. Project Belgium still even without double bit-axe, which is enormous. He's just not having a lot of eco upgrades, and it looks like this tower and this wood line is just still getting pressured pretty hard. DauT now transitioning to Eagle Warriors, so instead of actually going for archers, he's gonna go Eagles, And now, being totally honest, if you look at the military numbers, it's 61 to 46. The eco for Miguel, DauT, and Fire are much weaker, but the upgrades in military-wise, +1, +2 on those knights as opposed to just +1 defense from Capoch, and the numbers are actually more and more convincing, and if these crossbows can find some value here on the wood line, suddenly things could turn around really rapidly. And we're getting a nice surround here as well from Miguel. This is getting better and better for Miguel's team. This could be a huge comeback, because it seemed like they're just gonna get slaughtered by the crossbows that hit their eco, but their eco upgrades are much better. Everybody has double or boso, with the exception of DauT. Military upgrades are much better, and they are smashing all these crossbows. Some egos are also coming in here, and since those knights only have +1 defense and bloodlines, if the egos have reasonable upgrades, like +1, +2 for example, they can take acceptable engagements. And crossbows here will actually get some Voyager picks. It is a 40 Voyagers lead still in the favor of Capoch's team, but that's going to slowly start going down, and Capoch's team is also losing control over the middle. Here, these towers are still pretty important. For DauT, another batch of crossbows could hit BacT+'s eco here on the right side. And if these egos can start running inside, that's going to be very painful for Project Belgium to deal with. He doesn't have a stable back at home, which means that he's going to have to pull the knights back home from all those stables, which is something that he's doing right now. But look at this, knights committing to destroy this tower so that they can completely deny this wood line from their opponents. We got some knights coming in here from Miguel, and suddenly the Voyager counts are getting closer and closer. 50 idols for Project Belgium's team. Look at that, Project Belgium has to idle his entire food eco over here because of a couple of eagles, and even though they do have a 30 Voyagers lead, 43 of those wheels are idle. Crossbows breaking in here as well, and this is looking better and better for Miguel's team. As I said, eagles may be able to finish off this tower over here, and Project Belgium, he's at 62 Voyagers, Miguel is at 60, so that's even. 78 Voyagers for BacT. He's the biggest fish right now in the bucket for his team. But Capoch 41, that is even to DauT's Voyager count 42. And in the meanwhile, BacT is getting pushed pretty hard over here. We'll have what is a castle. No, it's going to be a castle drop. Fire is going to castle drop BacT here. We already have a castle for BacT though. And the thing is that Blue Archers could still turn things around, and we shouldn't forget that there's still 27 Voyagers lead. So if they can stabilize here, the eco advantage should theoretically still be on the side of BacT's team. Although the fact that double bit-axe is still missing for Project Belgium is an absolute disaster. One thing that's worth talking about when it comes to late game is that Huns will have access to Paladins, whereas Slavs won't. So Slavs want to finish this game before that actually would happen, and it looks like BacT is going to be the one that gets tripled here. This castle is going to be pretty annoying in his face for him. And honestly, looking at the resources for Fire, I feel like he's thinking about going into Imperial and getting a Trap War in here for himself. Same thing for BacT. BacT is thinking about Imperial himself. Military numbers evening out, and honestly, it's even military numbers and much better Voyager count for Project Belgium's team. Eco upgrades are slightly better on the other side, but does that actually compensate? BacT coming in here with a quite disastrous castle placement. Well, it wasn't really a disastrous castle placement, but he just moved away his army at the wrong time. That is because the crossbowmen are hitting his stone mine over here. Scorpion's doing an excellent job cleaning this one up. And there's a castle in his face as well. Quite a few Voyagers could die. Capoch arrives with the Britain crossbows to support, but there is a lot of egos here, and honestly, what remains on the field is crossbows versus eagles, and eagles should be able to dominate this engagement. This castle may stay denied, and DauT, by the way, DauT actually wanted to TC this stone here, and he's pulling Villagers to TC that stone. If he TCs that, this castle isn't going up. Holy smokes. This is one entertaining game. And despite the fact that Project Belgium's team had an even military number and like 40 Voyagers lead, now it's just a 20 Voyagers lead, and their military numbers are dropping quite rapidly. The Eagles are absolutely slaughtering the crossbows. It looks like the eagle plus knight plus crossbow play is working out a little bit better. And now Capoch is down to 8 crossbows. BacT has 18 plumes, but only 2 knights from Project Belgium were against 14. And it's gonna be a castle that's denied. DauT is even going to wall this one in. Plumed archers coming in here now, but they have to be careful because there's a lot of knights that could get a good surround on them. So it's not like these plumed archers will do much against like 12 crossbows and soon 10 knights coming in here as well. And we should also mention that the right side of BacT's base is also getting pushed pretty hard. And as it is mentioned on the chat, slow and steady, DauT's team is pushing his opponent off from the middle. So yeah, this castle is gonna get denied at like 50%. BacT could still delete it and get some of his stone back, and there is actually a huge hole here. If these knights come in here, I feel like this game is gonna be in the hands of Miguel's team. Because now the villager count is as close as it could possibly be, and that's a very, very disturbing sign for BacT's team, because they had a 40 villagers lead and now that's gone. And military-wise, it is still somewhat even, but map position is much, much better, and we haven't talked about the fact that F1re is beating BacT into Imperial by a massive margin. F1re is gonna have traps here soon, so he's gonna be able to start trapping down that castle, which is so crucial. Project Belgium panic castle inside the farming eco, but even if it goes up, it doesn't really matter, because Project Belgium isn't really the biggest factor in this game. He's at 96 villagers, but Miguel has a confident lead over Project Belgium, plus it is the Slavic player that has to initiate engagements and win this game before we get to late Imperial. They are on the timer because they don't have Paladin, whereas Miguel can just sit back and say, okay, we don't engage this one, we're just waiting until we get to Paladin, and you won't have Paladin here. So F1re is up to Imperial, getting a trap out here, castle from F1re once again on the other TC left side. We have a defensive castle from Capoch, and Imperial Age-wise, the only player that's going up from our warm color team is BacT. Other side, we already have F1re up. Remember that there is no more obsidian arrows, so the Arbs here won't be winning the game, but they are taking good enough engagement. Arbs eat knights, so this is absolutely satisfactory for F1re. In fact, this is a perfect engagement for him. And we also have Miguel going into Imperial, which is going to be huge. So he's going to have Cavalier soon. Honey stables do work faster, so he's going to be able to flood the map with Cavalier as well. This castle eventually is going to go up. And that's basically the only castle that BacT would have. There is... what? It looks like BacT tried dropping a castle here as well to support the other one, but DauT sent some eagles to destroy or kill the villagers. Quick walls apparently failed, and DauT gets a castle up here to prevent that one from happening. Capoch coming in here with his crossbows, but those are Castle Age army in what is going to be an Imperial Age fight very, very soon. DauT has some random outposts right next to the TC of Project Belgium, but they have perfect map vision, and soon we will have to talk about Project Belgium's team having some wood control issues. Another castle coming in here from BacT. This may also get denied. Crossbows from here could just deny that one. Like, BacT would actually do 3 DauT castles in the same game. Are they not seeing it? I think they should be seeing it with the eagles, or they just don't care. Doesn't really matter, because there is 3 traps trapping this one down, so by the time this goes up, this one is dead, and this one is next, so it's not gonna matter that much. Other 2 players from Project Belgium's teams going up as well, but eventually there is going to be 3 players in Imperial a little bit faster. We already have 2 from Imp, or 2 in Imp, from F1re's team, and there is Cavalier on the way. So when Cavalier kicks in, things will just start snowballing here. And chemistry is on the way as well for F1re, who could start making plumed archers if he wanted to. I think he's just sticking with Arbs for the time being, but he could start making plumes. As I said, this castle is gonna be really dead very soon. BacT falling back, and for some time it felt like Capoch's team is going to turn this around. In fact, they had a massive lead. At some point they had 40 villagers lead and they were pushing the eco of their opponents, but then suddenly things started going the other way. Some good engagements by Fire's team, and now they're just slaughtering their opponents. So this is a bad engagement for Capoch. Capoch is at +2/+2 in terms of upgrades, but it's +4/+4 Cavaliers against him. And there is going to be Yeoman on the way as well for Capoch for the crossbows, but it doesn't matter. Project Belgium taps out, and Miguel's team wins game number 2 here as well. Apparently, Capoch just waited until he gets into Imperial for this one, but 2 games in a row for Miguel's team. This one was much more swingy than the previous one. So we had a huge lead at some point for Capoch's team, but then this castle drop was enormous. The fact that this castle was denied was huge, and I feel like the ego was really paid for their price. Because remember that Project Belgium didn't really have a huge amount of knights on the field, which meant that the Eagles could have a pretty nice time killing archers. And that's basically what happened. And with that, Seize the Mountain is in the hands of Miguel's team as well. Another $50 to their prize money. Let's talk about KDs here a little bit. So 134.80 for Miguel. That's a huge difference between the 2 pocket players. That is worth talking about. Miguel, by the way, was on 6 TCs. 4 for Fire, 5 for DauT. In terms of slinging, no, that's actually selling resources. So Miguel was selling quite a lot. No surprise about that. No slinging happening at all. Miguel also collected 3 relics. I just want to point this one out. This was a pretty intense battle, but Miguel took his time and collected 3 relics as well, which also is sort of beneficial over here. And it's about the value spent destroyed that you look at here on how much more efficient Miguel was than, let's say, Project Belgium. So destroyed 12k, 6k. That's enormous. So really, it looks like Miguel was able to outplay Project Belgium in the pocket. And on the other side, it looks like DauT's egos were also the right play here. Because, as I said, Project Belgium didn't have a lot of knights on the field, and that leaves the window open for Eagles to destroy the crossbows. We had some crucial engagements. In fact, when this castle was going up, the Eagles really showed why they were so useful. Anyways, that is the end of game number 2, and we will go to game number 3.